Hey Alpha fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today on Alpha Commission, of course, we're going to go over that Ethereum setup that I gave you guys 2 months ago, okay? 2 months ago, I gave you this setup on Ethereum, 100% free of charge. Of course, you can always support me in the link in the description below at our group, and you can get hundreds of plays like this. But, of course, Ethereum is so popular, just like Bitcoin, right? We always have to have our thumb on its pulse, and what we were looking for was a breakout off of this bullish divergence, off of this massive multi-year long hidden bullish divergence that we had identified here at Alpha Commission, along support, along some bullish patterns that we were looking for. A breakout that could shoot to these higher targets, maybe $2,000, maybe $2,800, maybe $3,300. Let's go ahead and see what we had to say. That harmonic. Now, if we do put that in the context of the greater volatility wave, then we can see here on my ultimate EMA squeeze that we are coming off the bottom of that squeeze channel as well. And so, again, if we see a breakout in this area, it bodes well for potentially hitting these upper harmonic targets, as we do have the clearance and the volatility wave necessary, the headroom in order to reach those areas, perhaps at the 2,800, 3,300. And okay, guys. Well, there you have it, right? So now let's go ahead and just see an update on that chart, because of course the proof is in the pudding. And would you look at that, lo and behold, right from the entry that I gave you guys, we are up a whopping 120% on Ethereum, well exceeding my upper target here. But of course we did have a little bit of headroom, a little bit of buffer area in those purple zones on my ultimate squeeze indicator, and we are pretty much embedded in bullishness right now on Ethereum. Now, Ethereum here on the 4-hour will start to lose that bullish bias underneath 3,600. On the daily, we can see that it loses it under that $3,300 level that I gave you, okay? So basically anything over 3,300 is super bullish, but of course, if you have a range and you entered at the bottom 1/3, you probably want to take some profit at the top 1/3, or at least move that stop loss up so you lock in your profits. Remember, guys, you don't have to be loyal to these coins. They're not going to be loyal to you. Put some cash in your pocket, put some food on your table, right? Guys, you do not want to be one of these bag holders at the end of the day, at the end of the market. So just make sure that you pay yourself or lock it in on your way up. Okay, guys, now let's go ahead and take a look at some of these altcoins that we've been talking about. Of course, SAGA is one that I've talked about several times, and I learned about this coin through my friend Retta, and I did chart it out on Twitter, as well as described it in some videos and also in the group, and gave us a nice clean entry here at around 22 cents. We are now up a whopping approximately 50 to 55%, depending on if you took a profit off of that kind of a scam wick there that did come back and created a higher low, which is actually pretty nice structurally. This is looking pretty good. This is what we want to see, right, in coins. And so, guys, if you did get into SAGA with me, congratulations, because you guys are absolutely killing it. And guys, as you know, I always try to identify triple confluence. My standard is quintuple confluence for setups that I'm giving to others, because, you know, I want to make sure we knock it out of the ballpark. And if we do get stopped out, you know, I hope it's no fault of mine. I hope it's just the market conditions. You know, sometimes there's a little bit of randomness in the market. That's how markets work, right? If everyone could predict, right, what the price of something would be, everyone would be winners, and that's just impossible. And so sometimes spontaneously, random price action just pops up, and there's nothing we can do about that. That's called volatility. Guys, now if we take a look at CPOOL, CPOOL is another one that I was mentioning. We are moving quite well on CPOOL. Guys, all these plays are given in the group, so if you do want to just join us during this kind of, you know, if it's a mini altcoin season, okay, so be it. That's what all the altcoin seasons have been so far this cycle, right? But if this ends up being the grandpa, you know, pappy, you know, altcoin season, then of course you probably want to start taking some positions on coins that are still low. CPOOL, guys, another one that we just absolutely killed We're 75% up off of the Pico lows here, guys. Just those microscopic tiny entrances at the bottom. We absolutely decimated this chart. Another one, BONK, 212% up. Guys, look at my humble target for BONK. Right? My humble target, you know, just being humble because, of course, altcoins haven't been very forgiving this cycle. But look at this entry, right? We got a couple chances to enter, and then, of course, it was just off the races. And if you guys got in with me, again, guys, you guys are just absolutely killing it. And PENGU is one that I gave around the time that I was talking about Ethereum. I was giving you guys here on YouTube this late entry over here, suggesting that these pullback areas would be pretty interesting for a second late entry in the group. We were talking about these levels above this 0.005 cents. Absolutely, we got the manipulation and then the bull phase, right? Here's the bear phase, manipulation, and then the bull phase. That's called a power of three, guys, if you've never heard it before. And so we're looking for that power of three. Absolutely, we got it. A whopping 675% up. Now, if we do go over to Bitcoin, of course, in the last episode, I was telling you that Bitcoin had a little bit of bearish divergence. It was likely to do jack all for the next week or so, right? As that topping tail candle basically put pressure on it to the downside. Now, that's not really going to be affecting your altcoins as long as Ethereum is showing its strength. Ethereum continued to show its strength off of our just massive entry there, guys. And Bitcoin is really just coming back to kind of test this breakout support, right? Resistance, 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 kind of resistance. And now we want to see, does that resistance flip into support? If Bitcoin can flip this area into support above that $110,000 area, right? $113,000 area. And especially if this really forms a higher low above 115,000, it's going to look quite nice. I would expect us to continue to push up. We're having a little bit of a falling wedge right now. It's more like a bull pennant. You know, statistically about a 54% chance of continuation to the upside. So we could get a flash wick down and then maybe break out. If we did something like that, basically took out our lows here, just on this small range, that would actually be the best case situation, because what would happen is that any higher low off of that would then have a 70% chance of continuation to the upside. So statistically speaking, that would be much more in our favor in terms of grabbing plays. Guys, these plays are being set up all the time in the group. Of course, I do pick my entries quite carefully. So while we always have something going on in the trading hub, you know, I always make sure to group our entries when the timing makes sense. Okay, when the timing makes sense. So guys, just please bear with me on that. I do have very high standards for my entries with the confluences that I pick and choose for you. Yeah, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. You know, if we do get a breakout, you know, I'm looking to maybe pop back up to 120, maybe even the wick high of 123, and then play it by ear from there. If we ever break that 123, I mean, this thing's potentially just going to go for it, right? But, you know, just retesting this wick, you know, that's pretty normal price behavior, even if we are going to, you know, kind of test a bigger floor here. But yeah, any poke down into 113 and then a higher low off of that, pardon me, guys. Yeah, I would just see that as an opportunity. All right, that's your alpha for the day. Stay safe and happy trading.